Ladies and gentlemen, a cold case team.
We got him.
Ladies
and gentlemen, we got him.
Ladies and gentlemen, we got him.
The Zodiac Killer has been ID'd, allegedly.
This is Gary.
Here he is.
Mr. Post.
Gary F. Post.
Gary Francis Post.
Is that his middle name?
Uh-huh. It says right there, down there.
Oh, look, you're right. Gary Francis Post. This is him. He looks...
Like
now
a
that I'm
regular
looking
guy.
at him, though, he doesn't look like the sketch.
That's probably got to be a later picture of him, right?
In fact, the sketch...
I can...
I don't actually think he looks like Ted Cruz, the sketch, but the sketch looks more like Ted Cruz than it looks like the actual guy.
It looks just like Ted Cruz, first of all.
It looks nothing
Second
like
of
Ted
all,
Cruz.
It doesn't... Well, let's be real. It's a terrible, terrible drawing.
Yeah, horrible
so I'm
drawing.
trying to look something up about Ted Cruz.
Not to bash the guy who was, the officer, or is it an officer that does the drawings, the police sketches, or is he doesn't get the officer title? He's like he's just an artist, right? Sketch artist. That's what they're called.
Yeah, I mean, he's just a sketch artist.
He works with the police, but he's not a police officer. Probably, that's probably not something. Artistic ability is not something they look good for in police officers. Let me read a
Well,
little
they
something.
hire them though.
Right.
Yeah.
The Case Breakers, a team of more than 40 law enforcement investigators, journalists, and military intelligence officers, has tackled other mysteries, as well as this one, and the group believes that they have found him. The Zodiac Killer has been connected to 5 murders that occurred in 1968 and 1969 in the San Francisco area. Wild. Unlike most serial killers, the Zodiac taunted authorities with complex ciphers and letters sent to newspapers and law enforcement. The slangs have spawned books, movies, documentaries, blah, blah, blah. I think my next career goal is to be one of the journalists in the Case Breakers. That sounds like an epic group to be a part of.
It does sound like a pretty cool group.
It does sound epic. Unfortunately, I don't know. I'm not convinced that they went after the right guy because... it's not Ted Cruz.
That's the thing. You gotta be, we think it's Gary, okay, Mr. Post, but it wasn't like the cops found this out, you know what I mean?
Right.
It was just like some random guys.
Well, hold on, we can keep reading. We can keep reading.
Okay. Well, speaking of,
yeah.
did you know that Gary Francis Post was a movie fan? Or should I say, a movie critic? He left a review on on Ted Bundy, the Ted Bundy movie, one of them.
Yeah,
I don't remember exactly which one. Yeah, and gave it 1 star and said that Ted Bundy is wildly overrated. He was salty. There was beef between Ted Bundy and the Zodiac Killer, Gary Cruz.
Wait, when
Gary
was...
Cruz, not Ted. Oh, I said Gary Cruz. Not Ted Cruz. Ted Bundy, huh?
Wait, when
Gary
was
Post.
Ted Bundy alive? Could they have met? Did they overlap?
I'm sure. I don't know if their killings overlap, but their lives definitely overlap.
He died in 1989, so they totally overlapped.
When he was born, 46? Yeah, most definitely.
Dude, what if they knew each other?
What if 2 serial killers happen to try to kill each other?
Well,
Who would win?
who would win against Gary versus
Gary.
Ted?
Also, Ted was probably a little younger.
Think about
Gary.
this. How come all serial killers have the most boring, most random...
Gary,
Gary
Ted.
and Ted. Come on.
Isn't there one named John?
I don't know.
Pretty sure.
But yeah, that's funny. And if I was a serial killer, I'd reach out to other serial killers and be like, hey, man.
Oh, they're going to collab?
Yeah, they didn't collab, but you probably can't tell. That's a deep, dark secret that you can't tell anybody. So if you ever meet somebody or find a connection to somebody who you could tell, wouldn't you jump at that opportunity?
Yeah, probably.
So
honestly.
if I was Gary, I might have reached out to Ted and been like, hey.
You mean as a mentor? Well, Gary would be the mentor because Gary is older.
Maybe not a mentor, but just a confidant, Like, hey, hey, Ted,
like,
just so you know, I'm the Zodiac Killer. I just want to
true.
get that off my chest, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Anyway,
yeah.
The Case Breakers is now saying it has identified the Zodiac Killer as Gary Francis Post, who passed away in 2018. Sad. Or maybe not sad, I don't know. Has it been too long? Can I make fun of this or can I make jokes?
What? Yeah,
okay.
For sure.
The team's years of digging uncovered new forensic evidence and photos from Post's dark room. What? His dark room? What is that?
I don't know. I don't want to know what that is.
One image.
Oh no, that's used for like old like photography,
Oh,
right?
right,
Isn't that how
right.
they process the pictures?
Oh, so he was a photographer. One image featured scars on the forehead of Post that matches scars on the sketch of the Zodiac. Really?
Whoa! That thing had scars?
That thing. I thought those
Was
were
that terrible
wrinkles.
drawing? Me too. Is that a big old scar on his forehead? I don't see the scar.
I'm not seeing it either. Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I think these guys are just trying to gain some clout. Honestly,
It seems like a stretch.
yeah.
Other clues include deciphering letters sent by the Zodiac that revealed him as the killer, said Jen.
How? But like, can we see it? Like, could they explain it to us so we can believe?
Yeah,
it a
yeah.
little bit
Where?
more, you know what
Let
I
me
mean?
see the letters. A former Army counterintelligence agent who works on cold cases.
Well, that's cool.
That's what he said. In one note, that the letters of Post's full name were removed to reveal an alternate message.
Well, what's the message? That seems like a pretty easy solution.
This is,
Like,
this is
that's
a
one they
quote
could have shared.
from Jen. So you've got to know Gary's full name in order to decipher these anagrams. I just don't think there's any other way anybody would have figured it out. They're not really giving us much here. What's the
I mean,
message?
they're saying like, oh, it's definitely him.
Yeah.
Trust us. It's like, what's your source? Trust me, bro.
Trust me, I
seem-
found his name.
It's like-
dude. Okay.
Yeah, and how did they decide to use his name? Were they just going through people's names, testing them to see if they
Right.
fit through the anagram?
Right, exactly. Like, was my name tested? Because I might be the Zodiac Killer. Was Ted Cruz's
True.
name
If
tested?
we could,
Do you think
Ted
they
Cruz.
actually looked into Ted Cruz? They had to have, right? Like
I'm sure.
100%. Like they had
mean,
to
the
have
FBI
seriously
well-
looked into it.
Oh, excuse me, I'm yawning. Probably not, if I'm being honest, just because
Really?
it's been so long. That they don't really care.
They ha-
Obviously, he's not killing
Well, yeah,
people
but when-
anymore.
when
If he
they
was
s-
alive, he'd be like 90 or something.
But no, he died in 2018. He was like a young adult in the 60s. So what? He's not that old, right? I guess he would have been like, yeah, I guess he would have been kind of old. Yeah, you're
Yeah,
right.
he'd been like in the 80s.
You're right.
80s or 90s.
The
or something
team
like that.
believes Post also killed somebody else, Cherry Joe Bates, on October 31st.
Cherry? I think it might be Sherry.
Whatever. In
Why'd you spell her
California,
name like that?
hundreds of miles south from the San Francisco area, and 2 years before the first killing linked to the Zodiac.
So you're telling me this man killed some girl? Just
somebody else as
for
well.
fun.
This guy was just on a rampage. Interesting. The following year, authorities received a handwritten letter that led investigators to believe the killing may be linked to the Zodiac Killer. In 2016, investigators received an anonymous typed letter from someone admitting to writing the earlier note and said it was a, quote, sick joke. So the guy writes a note and then writes another note, like apologize
Said
for
I
the
was just
previous
kidding.
note.
He felt bad. He
Yeah.
was like, he was going to pull a prank. He was like, oh man, I can't do that.
The author admitted that he was not the Zodiac Killer or the killer of Cherry, and that he was just looking for attention, the police department said. Investigators later confirmed the author was not involved in the Bates murder, and the Zodiac was never linked to the crime. But then these guys came along and said, no, it is linked to the crime? Now I'm getting confused. This is what...
Yeah, I'm just inclined a little bit more to believe the police department. I'm not one to
No,
like
what are you
trust the
talking about?
government, but
I trust the case breakers. They sound awesome.
you know who they need to get in on it?
Yeah?
Dog, the bounty hunter.
Oh, dude, dog
cracked the
would be a
case.
great addition to the team. Our homicide cold case unit has determined the murder of Cherry Joe Bates in 1966 is not related to the Zodiac Killer. Police department said, we understand the public interest in these unsolved murders, but all inquiries regarding the Zodiac Killer should be referred to the FBI.
The police department's like, no, stop it. We don't want any more
So
of
the
this.
police
Send it to the
denies
FBI.
that this is actually, that they were connected, but it doesn't matter, I guess.
Wait, there's two sketches of him? I've never seen the second sketch.
They are basically identical
he looks
sketches.
he looks a lot more. He looks like he's doing the smoller in the second picture. What's that face for? He's got the F boy face going on. He's biting his bottom lip. He's got the eyebrows.
Let's see. The team said a series of coincidences connected the two murders, such as Post was an Air Force veteran when he received medical checkups for a gun incident at a hospital located 15 minutes from where Sherry was murdered. Oh. So
Oh,
wait.
wow.
So did Sherry have a gun? What are you like? What? What is happening here? A wristwatch
This is
with paint splatter on it was collected at the murder scene and is thought to have been worn by the killer. I'm really not seeing it. I'm with the police here. I don't think these were connected. Post.
I get it. I mean, he painted homes. That's what he's saying. They found a wristwatch.
Right. I didn't read the
spider.
next sentence. Post painted homes for more than 4 decades, the team said.
And they found a heel print from a military-style boot, and he was in the military.
Which matched the same style and size that the same style and size that were found at the Zodiac crime scenes. Okay.
Yeah.
That makes sense. Well, so that means so he was in the Air Force when he committed the Zodiac killings the year before too then. So he'd been in the Air Force for a while. Or
I guess, man, or I think he might have been out of by the time he committed the crimes. I don't know. Either way, this is kind of all just underwhelming. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah. Like as I'm reading it, I'm also still not really convinced. I haven't really seen any proof. Well, this one says, in 2020, a team of code breakers cracked a 340-character cipher that was sent to the San Francisco Chronicle by the Zodiac. At the time, the FBI said the Zodiac case remained ongoing. Oh, here's the note. I hope you're having lots of fun in trying to catch me, ... I am not afraid of the gas chamber because it will send me to paradise all the sooner because I now have enough slaves to work for me. The decrypted message read.
What was he trying to get across?
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Picture that quote.
This is like a
and
religious
then refer
thing?
back to Gary. This does not seem like the guy who
Gary,
would write that.
well, I don't know. That was very poetic, just like his movie review.
A California woman who lived next door to Post and his wife, he had a wife, told Fox News she believes he's the Zodiac Killer after seeing the evidence collected so far. Gwen, who declined to give her last name, said Post and his wife babysat her as a child in the 70s.
What?
He would teach her how to shoot firearms several times a week.
But was controlling and abusive toward his wife?
Oh, sad.
Oh, man. That adds up.
He lived a double life, she said. As I'm adult, thinking back, it all kind of makes sense now. At the time when I was a teenager, I didn't put 2 and 2 together until I got older. It hit me full blown that Gary's the Zodiac.
Okay, if this lady believes it, maybe I believe it.
I mean, this was just his neighbor. I don't know. I'm still not seeing the scars. Is that a scar? The wrinkles.
No, you see him? I see him.
I see the wrinkle.
The wrinkles match up, but yeah, I don't think that's a scar.
Are those
I
scars?
think someone was a little overzealous.
Yeah, he's just. This one.
The
this
whole thing
younger
seems a little
picture, though.
fishy too. Here's the thing: who was like about to get murdered, right, and survived it? Isn't that how they have that sketch? Someone like got stabbed by him and then survived the killing. I'm pretty sure that's how it happened.
Sure, I'm not sure.
How in the world did they remember those scars on his forehead of all the things to remember?
I'm not
they don't
convinced
seem
they're
that
scars,
noticeable.
to be honest.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying. I don't even
They
think
look
that
like
either.
he's just got some wrinkles.
So how did we even?
Let's see. Hans Smits told Fox News he spent 10 years hiding a whistleblower who said he escaped a criminal posse headed by Post. Whoa. So Gary, ran a gang?
Whoa, okay, now he's more interesting. A second ago, this was just Gary. Now it's Gary, the crime lord,
The
leader of the underground.
The man who the case breakers only referred to as Will told Smith
With one L.
the posse roamed California's High Sierra region and that he was, quote, groomed into a killing machine.
Whoa.
In addition, Will said that he witnessed Post burying murder weapons in the woods.
Jeez, Post was kick butt. That's what he was.
They put out several bear caches out there in case something happened, Smith said.
What?
Did Smith's so why didn't the case breakers say, okay, show me where the bear traps are, right? Like, show me where he hid them. That seems like the next step. Smith said he gave Will financial, logistical, and emotional support over the years and moved him around for nearly 10 years in an effort to keep him safe. I'm the one that took him to the FBI office and put him on a train and sent him out of state, Smith said.
Oh, man.
Another woman...
I still just like to imagine, Gary is just, this guy who's just, completely, really low-key. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he was I don't know. He just doesn't look like the type that would kill these people. And
he just seems like a Michael Cera type. You know what I mean? Just scary. I feel like they should remake Zodiac and just put Gary into the movie, though, and he's played by Michael Cera.
Yeah. It's just super.
He's like, oh, hey man, like
Normal?
we should just like calm down and I can just kill some people, man. You know, that's my Michael.
But he has to
impression.
run a gang as well.
Oh man, just go hide some bear traps out in the woods. You know, you can go put them out there, and if they try to find the murder weapons, they'll like get caught up in the bear traps. You know what I mean?
That's good. That's good.
Thank you. It's a pretty good Michael Cera impression.
Another woman named Michelle said she was common law married to Post's son.
So she lived with his son.
She told Fox News she was a victim of harassment by Post and his posse during the relationship that included damaging her car in other incidents. Despite being dead for 3 years, some people are mysteriously still loyal to him, said Michelle, who also declined to provide her last name. Seems made up. He targeted he targeted young men who didn't have a father figure, she said. It was a posse of 3, but the one, Post, did a lot of damage. He still has some kind of control, and he's gone.
That's a little intimidating then. Although it's less intimidating when you think those other 2 guys are also like probably in their 80s if they're still alive.
Right. So originally, the article's a little misleading, I'll be honest. In the beginning, it was like he ran a posse, and you're like, oh, nice, gang lord. And then you scroll down a little bit, and he's like, oh, a posse of 3. Plus,
They're
3
like
including
besties.
him.
Yeah.
So 2.
So he had 2 buddies that helped him commit crimes. Is that what we're hearing?
So yeah.
That also didn't happen to be a part of the Zodiac Killers.
I'm
we
so
know
confused.
the
Buddies. And the other 2 were Will and Smith.
So are they arrested? I'm confused. Here's what I think actually happened. Would you like to hear my take?
Yeah.
I think that what happened is these guys, what are they called? What's their group called?
The case breakers.
The crime case breakers. I think they just found out this kind of cool story about this dude who was like in a weird like murder trio and was like, no one's going to really think this is that cool. Let's just make him the Zodiac Killer. And then they'll think it's cool.
Right.
And they ran with it. You know what I mean?
Right.
Because no one's gonna care just about Gary, who killed some guys with the boys.
Here he is.
But everyone's gonna care about.
That's him now.
See, I don't know.
And apparently, allegedly, he was arrested in 2016,
Yeah, for assault.
and they let him go.
Yeah, well, he's an old man. I think he probably just
His
like
killing
it
days are
wasn't like
behind him.
yeah, it wasn't like he like killed someone. I think he like got in a fight or something. I think is what it was.
Wow.
So I don't know. Anyway,
I'm a little disappointed.
That's
I'll be
wild.
honest.
Me too, Gary. You could have been cooler.
He could have been much cooler. And you know, he does sound cool. Well, okay, if he actually was the Zodiac Killer, I think he's pretty cool. You know, in a weird kind of.
I think he's kind of cool as is. Honestly, we could make a true crime movie about that. Him and his posse.
Him and his posse of 2.
He could be called the Posse.
Oh, that's good.
That's not very intimidating, but
The Zodiac Posse.
that's good. That's better.
Yeah, I don't know.
What if they all had like cool zodiac signs as their nicknames, like Gemini, Leo, and Aquarius?
He really just didn't live up to his name.
He really didn't.
Now, if Ted Cruz came out as the Zodiac Killer, we'd be
He was
a whole
both?
other story. What if Ted Cruz is one of the posse members? And
Their names are
Will and Smith,
Will and yeah,
which
not
seem
Ted
like
Cruz.
fake names. This whole
Yeah.
story seems a little fake. To be honest.
It really does. Will and Smith, not even Smith, just Smith.
Yes.
And Will with one L.
Yeah, no. It's
What is up with this?
Smits with one T, SMITS, and then Will with one L, WIL.
Man,
and neither have
none
last
of them.
names.
None of them decided to give their last name. Not even the witnesses.
Yeah, and the witnesses also didn't
Yeah,
give their last
man,
names.
this is sus.
It's a little sus.
Thanks, guys, for watching. Watch out for the Zodiac Killer.
We'll snap you later, right? Right?
We'll snap you later. Right.
Clutch.
W.